Hello, welcome to Workout Every Day, day number 7, the run. And I wanted to talk about something pretty important. I think there's a lot of reasons to not want to do exercise or to kind of like half-ass what you're doing, right? And I want to talk about effort, okay? So today I decided that I was going to do a 30-minute run, pretty standard for me. Normally, if I want to go run, jog, whatever you want to call it, I do it for like an hour, okay? So the terrain that I was on and a lot of things, leading up to this run made me think that this was going to be absolutely horrendous. So, give you guys a clue if you're wondering, am I wearing jeans? Yes, I am wearing jeans. The jeans were not a good choice, but I had just finished the work and I went to go see my girlfriend, who, by the way, is helping me record this. And I was like, hey, you know what? Jeans, okay, that's fine. And then I get to this park that I've never been to, and then, oh, would you look at that? It is terrible terrain. I don't know if you guys can tell, but the grass is extremely high and uncut. There's a bunch of dips. I nearly rolled my ankle several times. There's like holes everywhere. And I'm afraid to full on run at a fast pace. So I have this weird little waddle. I don't even know what to call it. I do try and pick up the pace later and change the places that I'm running when I get a feel for the field. But my goodness, it was difficult to move through this. Like I could feel each time my legs touched the grass, I got resistance. But anyways, if that was not enough, I had to take a huge dump. My goodness, and like at all this, and I was kind of as I was running, thinking to myself, man, these are a lot of excuses to cut the run short, to stop trying to run harder, to anything. And I just kind of sat there and said, it is what it is. And by the way, if you're wondering, like, well, Jaden, if you had to take a dump before, if you knew that, why don't you just take it? I was thinking, I'll survive. But on that third lap, man, I started feeling it. Uh, anyways, I had a pretty decent run where I ran for, like 30 minutes of time, and I kept feeling like, man, I could run faster, man, I could run faster. Um, am I going to go back to this park to do a run in this terrain? I really don't think so. I think I should just run on pavement. Anyway, here you can see me go, okay, well, I thought it was cold outside, but I really cannot be using really cannot be using my hoodie. I just saw my girlfriend snatch my hoodie. Anyways, they were running. And something interesting about this is that it kind of simulates fartlek running, if you know what that means. It's like different kinds of terrain. There's actually hills. It's hard to see, but I'm actually running down. I'm running up. If you want to call it that, limping, slogging. I don't know if you want to call this running at this point, but there is ups and downs to this. There's a lot of different stuff that I'm kind of dodging when you can't really see me disappear into the distance. For all you guys know, I'm just like sleeping or taking a rest in the corner as I resurface into the. Oh, there I am, back around. And something else that I ended up feeling, just on the topic of running in general, I don't know if maybe it's because the terrain was really off and there was ups and downs, but man, my back was not having this. My back was in pain very quickly as well, and I was not happy about it. So I started changing my strategy. I don't know exactly when in this video, but I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm literally just going to run um, from one side to the other side and just repeat. And I think that would make things a lot easier. But yeah, these aren't full on runs, right? It's very hard. I don't know if there's people who are able to sprint up and down terrain like that, but I think that is potentially a recipe for injury. That's my personal opinion on it. I wouldn't want to do this again unless I knew for certain um, any dips or anything like that are very visible. It's very easy to roll your ankle, guys. Super easy, especially if you don't train your ankles and even if you do, it's still possible. Just to give you guys an example, one time I was out for a run, and I was just hopping side to side at a stoplight, and then I slightly stepped down. The road was slightly slanted, and boom, rolled my ankle. That injury lasted and hurt me for like weeks. And I was like, really? It's that simple. So when I tell you I caught myself in these little potholes on this field, falling into them a few times, it definitely was a scare. And prior injuries will do that to you guys. They'll make you kind of wuss out, if you will. They'll make you scared to try again. Um, I think that in general, though, if you find that you're in a position where you might have something dangerous in a terrain or say, I would just say avoid it, okay? I'm not going to champion this as what you should do. In fact, I think it's kind of dumb the moment I noticed that there was things like this that I could get hurt and I potentially would get hurt. But I kept saying, "Oh, I'll be fine," and that's usually the mentality that gets me hurt. Anyways, eventually I say, "I'm just going to run back and forth." And this is what the routine becomes right over here, bouncing from side to side. Pretty decent day out as well, which made things easier. I tried to keep a consistent pace and kept trying to tell myself mentally, like, hey, I can do a little bit more. Can I get one more in? Can I get faster? Can I run faster? Am I comfortable with this terrain now? I'm processing all these things mentally to keep myself not only going, but trying to go stronger, trying to get faster because I was not happy with my pace before. Still am not. Um, I can't really pick up my legs up that much because the grass is so high. My goodness, right? But my goal is going to be to take this pace even higher for 30 minutes and higher still. I don't know if I'm going to go back to my 1 hour escapades and trying to keep pace for an hour and trying to run fast for an hour. Um, but it is a little bit heartbreaking to see how out of shape I am in comparison to what I normally would be. Um, Something like this is just not even really, and by all means, I'm not exhausted from doing something like this. After I felt a little bit tired, and it's fine. But before I would hate the idea that I would do this for exercise. I'd be mad at myself. I was like, "What are you kidding me? Let's do another 30 minutes. Let's do another hour." And that's kind of the attitude that I want to bring back. That need to do the difficult thing because it's difficult, because I want to grow, because I want to get stronger. And when you're training and you're exercising in any way, if you lose that fundamental part of what I think helps you grow, it becomes harder to get the results that you probably want. And I almost feel unmotivated for the next session because I don't harness that kind of energy. I don't think to myself, I need to do the thing that's the most difficult. I need to push myself in whatever way I can. I don't think that anymore. And call it a byproduct of being older or just getting lazy or whatever you want to call it. I need to remember that that's kind of what this is all about. How much faster can I go? I'm running right now, and at this point, I'm telling myself I'm tired. I'm telling myself all these negative things. I'm thinking about the poop that I gotta poop. Um, and I'm thinking about, I got all this in my mind. And it's kind of like a mental war where you constantly have to be talking to yourself, constantly having to correct your own mentality. And you have to get really good at that, and I think that I can do that again. It's going to take some rebuilding. It's going to take me trying to be as focused as possible, and even then there's going to be days where the last thing I want to do is exercise in any way, shape, or form. There's going to be days where I cannot bear the thought of trying again, and things are difficult and I'm miserable, and that could be tomorrow and that could be every day. But just knowing that at the end of the day, things like that are natural and there's a reason behind me doing what I'm doing, I think is enough to keep me focused and motivated long term. Anyway, take care. See you tomorrow.